Hi, Kamali.
Hi, Kamali.
Kamali.
Hello, beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna start the YouTube.
Do you have it now? Oh, she's...
Okay, it's all yours, Lucy.
Thank
Alright,
you, Eddie.
before-
Give me a second. I'm going to give it
okay.
another minute or so.
Sure.
I'm just going through the screen and see if any of our elected officials are here.
Sure. Well, in the
we-
meantime, for people, as you know, we are recording this so that if anybody has anything to say, it would be able to forward it later. And anything written in the chat can be also forwarded too.
Well, it shouldn't be written in the chat because of the fact that it should be
it's coming
closed.
to us. Yep, but it's coming to us.
718-853-1257. Please name yourself. 912-929, I'm sorry, 929-355-0248. Please name yourself as well.
Yeah, my name is Lali. I'm support Victor Tapaler name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to wait.
Guys, I don't want crossing here. So it's either Eddie or you. We're not going to go crossing. It's going to get a little crazy in a few minutes. So I'm going to start now the meeting. Do we have, I don't see Hannah on here. Is she here? Yes, she is. Okay, I see. Okay. Oh, good evening, everyone. Welcome to CB13. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CB 13th February board meeting. I have a few things to address prior to the meeting, and then I'm going to have Yelena translate for a few seconds. I am Lucy Mujica Diaz, the chair of Community Board 13, and we have our staff here, which is Eddie Mark, Hannah Lickman, Lucia, sorry, Lucia, I keep forgetting your last name, and Barbara Santonas, which is the staff. I thank them. I also have my officers here, but you know, it's a little hard when you do this on Zoom to always introduce people. First of all, I want everyone to please mute yourselves, be respectful. And if not, you will be muted by the staff. I'm gonna start off with, there's numerous of people that would like to talk about the co-naming that is on the agenda for, sorry, I don't have his name in front of me.
Victor
Tapalaru? How do you pronounce it, Eddie?
Tapaler.
Thank you. I'll say Victor. So if anyone wants to jump in there and give the last name, that's fine, because I'm not good with pronouncing names. So there's a numerous amount of people that want to talk to approve the street co-naming. You had to sign up prior to, please mute yourselves or you will be removed. Whether you're a board member, you're a guest, etc., you will be removed. You had to sign up before 4 o'clock yesterday. If you did not sign up, I will not call your name. If you interrupt the proceedings, you will be removed off the panel. If you place something in the chat, we would be more than happy to place it back so everyone can see, because the chat only goes to the host. So Yelena, do you mind translating the part that if they interrupt and we understand that they're here and we don't have a translator, and they will be removed?
Окей. Добрый вечер. Это Community Board 12 митинг. Мы знаем, что есть люди, которые хотели бы говорить по поводу, это не переименование, но co-naming улицы. Для того, чтобы говорить на эту тему, у нас существуют правила. Люди должны были записаться до 4 часов вчерашнего дня. Все, которые получили, все люди, которые интересовались, получили имейл, по которому нужно было послать запрос. Те люди, которые не записались, не будут иметь возможности говорить. У нас очень много людей. А если вы будете, вы должны сделать так, чтобы вас не было слышно, ваших разговоров. Если вы будете разговаривать и будете мешать прохождению митинга, вас выключат. Если вы хотите что-то написать в чате, вы можете написать. Это придет к людям, которые регулируют этот митинг, и это будет показано людям. Спасибо большое. Еще раз, у нас есть правила, это цивилизованный митинг, и мы всех очень просим не перебивать, не кричать без приглашения. Спасибо большое.
Thank you, Yelena. This will be your only warning. If you interrupt, you will be removed off the panel. I understand someone at the beginning of the meeting stated that, you know, they were trying to call us. The protocol is you email Hannah or Lucia, and it's on the agenda, and that's how you get to have your 2 to 3 minutes. So let's move on to the public session. And I'm going to limit it to 2 minutes, Lucia. And then I'll let you know, or whoever is taking the controls, excuse me, I didn't mean that. I will let you know how much time to give any elected officials. So our first speaker is Anastasia. Are you with us? I think I saw you on the screen.
Yes, she's here. Anastasia, you gotta unmute yourself.
Please unmute
Yes.
yourself, and we will give her 2 minutes, but I could give her up to 3 because from the mayor's office. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. Greetings on behalf of the mayor's office. I won't take long. I don't really do have any major updates, but tonight I would like to introduce you to our new team member. His name is Mr. Ray Carrera. He is our Director of Quality of Life, and he will be dealing with citywide issues, and one of those issues are concerning our area, our community board. And Ray, if you want to take it from here, and again, greetings on behalf of the mayor's office. My name is Anastasia Yaskova. I'm a Brooklyn Board Director. Pleasure to meet everyone who doesn't know me. Please feel free to reach out. Eddie and community board member can share my information. And again, Ray, take it from here. Pleasure.
I appreciate the opportunity to say and meet all of the people here. I've had a long history of working for the mayor's office. Working 21 years with CAU. I'm familiar with the area, so any issues that you have, you can bring to Anastasia. She can bring be of help. I surely will. I'm working right now with Yelena, and we're trying to address the illegal vendor issue there. But 13 has a lot of issues, and I've done a lot of work here. So anything you need, just reach out to Anastasia. She'll reach out to me, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Ray. When you get an opportunity, email Eddie so you and I can have a little chat with Eddie and give you issues that have risen in the community. Barbara, I'm going to limit crossing because we have 17 speakers. Do you have something for Anastasia or Ray? I see your hand is up.
Just if they could leave their phone numbers in the chat, that's all.
Okay, thank you. If they will provide that, then one of the staff members will recirculate it because the chat is closed. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam
see,
Chair. Yes, I wanted to mention that to Ray. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I see our Assemblyman Alec Prokraski is here. Would you like to speak for a few minutes? I'm limiting to 5 minutes because I have 17 speakers.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'll try to be concise. I know you have a long meeting. I just, first and foremost, I'd like to thank some people. I'd like to thank April Young for hosting a great event for the kids at Liberation High School and for all of us, for grandson of Nelson Mandela and Davo Mandela. My apologies to many people who are not invited. I just got him on a very short notice. He's an international speaker, and he promised me that he's going to come back to Cornell community. So It was a wonderful event, and April Leong, thank you very much for hosting it. I just want to say thank you to Isaiah Whitehead Foundation for hosting an event on drug abuse issues. You know, once it hits my home very, very closely. So the event was wonderful, and many people were there. I also want to thank Rodney Knight for having a great Black History event with Cornell and Sharks and Sharkettes. I just want to thank Pat Singer and Rabbi Chaim Brickman for coming to Albany, so I had a great opportunity to introduce them on the floor. I just a few words in regards to a new NYCHA lingua, trust, pact. Of course, I can talk for 3 hours about it, but I'll try to use like 30 seconds. I just want to make sure that all the tenants from public housing know that there is a state law which prohibiting NYCHA from doing any changes unless the tenants in the buildings would vote for it. So with that in mind, we had a couple meetings at Haber Houses. We had a meeting with Brian Honan, the NYCHA executive, senior vice president of NYCHA. And because almost everyone at Haber Housing decided not to vote for any changes at all. So Brian Honan, on behalf of NYCHA, promised them that there's going to be no changes. Then we had yesterday a long meeting at Cornell and Houses, and with the same topic. And there's a little bit of a different situation because people there, they kind of divided in their desires not to stay having trust or pact. So my, just to make the very long story short, my advice as an assemblyman to my community for the people in public housing in those buildings to have, if they would decide to have a vote in one room for everybody, one time. Don't use mail-in votes. Don't use voting online. No. Just when you see each other, when you know that your vote is counted properly, that's when the elections, I believe in transparency and fairness of elections. So that's my message for the people in public housing. And then the last, but not, no, just two more things. First, with the bus. I think that we all need to be united. Our community needs to be united in order to fight such a huge monster in MTA. I've been doing it in Bay Ridge. I've been there a few times. So we just need to be united. And any conversation that something is done by the person who has a different motivations, that person wants to run, I don't care about those motivations. If person wants to run against me eventually, but today is helping the community, I'm going to be working with that person. So with that in mind, let's just get united around this bus situation, and let's be much more active than we were, for example, yesterday. I'd like to invite everybody to my community inauguration. It's Sunday, Lincoln High School, 3 o'clock. Please come. And the last but not least, Friday will be a first anniversary of Russian invasion of Ukraine. We're having a big event by Heart and Valor Foundation, great people. We're having a huge event at Millennium Theater, so and a wonderful concert. So if you want tickets, please let Madam Chair know, or Eddie. I'll have a free tickets for you. If you want to donate, that's also wonderful. That foundation has a full transparency, 100%. And that would be all. Madam Chair, thank you very much.
Well, we thank you very much. And I would trust that your staff will send us those flyers and we will circulate them on your behalf. I believe we did for the board members for your inauguration. And then we'll move forward from there. I just want to say that I love your spunk on the buses. I'm hoping that you have that same love for the casino when people don't want it. So that seems to be my pet project, and I'm gonna keep screaming until, I guess I'll be selling my house or gambling it off, one or the other. Okay, so I thank you.
Madam Chair, I hear you perfectly. It's not going to be up to me whether they're having that license or not. But if they do have that license, I want them to give the community as much as they can, or as much as community wants. That's my take on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Amela Clark from City Planning.
Hi, can everybody hear me okay? Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Amelia Clark. I'm a borough planner with DCP's Brooklyn office, and I am the designated liaison for CD13. With me on the call are also Karenza Wood, who is a team leader in the Brooklyn office, and Alex Sommer, who is our director. We wanted to share a little bit of exciting news with you all tonight. The Brooklyn office has received community development block grant funding for a neighborhood study in Coney Island North over the next 2 years. The exact boundaries of the study are still under determination, but it will be focused on stormwater resiliency and climate change, infrastructure, mobility and public realm improvements, and will explore potential changes to land use that would complement the proposed initiatives. Our office is going to be hiring a climate and sustainability planner in the coming months to work on the study, and we'll begin to develop an engagement and outreach plan. We look forward to working closely with neighborhood organizations, NYCHA resident associations, other city agencies, and of course, you all, everyone in CD13. So that's it for me. Thank you. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, totally appreciate it, Ms. Clark. The next speaker is Michael from DASNY.
Hi, how are you? Thank you very much for having me.
2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from the Department of Sanitation. One announcement that we do have is that set out time change placing on garbage goes into effect on April 1st, 2023. So basically what that means is any residents who put out garbage, they have two options on sending out the trash: recycling and curbside composting. If you have a bin with a secure lid, you can place it out at 6 p.m. This changes from the usual 4 p.m. And if you place them items out in bags, they have to be placed out after 8 p.m. Any buildings with 9 or more units can opt in annually in January for set out times between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. You go on our website, nyc.gov/multi-unit set out for that. There will also be for businesses change. There's also two options as well. So if you do have a secure lid with a bin, you can place it out 1 hour before closing. If you place the items out in bags, that will be at 8 p.m. as well. We're currently doing a lot of outreach to inform residents as well as businesses. We're having conversations, obviously, with community boards like you guys. We're calling out, 10-unit buildings. We're doing media coverage. We're sending out mailers to residents, property managers, and so on. I left my phone number in the chat. You could give that out. You could also contact us at customerservice@dsny.nyc.gov. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Michael, I know you said it's on the website, but if you have any pamphlets or any flyers that we can circulate around, it makes it easier for the eye, that you let us know.
Yeah.
And
tomorrow, when I'm in the office, I will forward you any information or flyers that we do have in regards to the changes. Okay.
Thank you. I do remember this coming up, but I do have a question. What happens to the businesses that close before? I believe you said businesses are at 6 or 8. Some businesses close a little earlier. Has there been negotiations with that?
Well, no, it's if a business has a bin with a secure lid, they can place it out 1 hour before closing. Otherwise, if it's bags, it has to be at 8 p.m., unfortunately.
And do you know the fees, the fines?
I believe I believe the first fine is $50, $100, and $200, but I would like to confirm that tomorrow as well.
So it's in the range of 50 to 200. Thank you. Just wanted the public to know that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, is there any other elected official that I'm not seeing, guys?
You have reps.
I do have reps. I said elected officials.
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Thank you. Okay. So Sergi from the controller's office, he came to visit me today.
Yes, that was a pleasure to see you today at work. Thank you, Lucy. Good evening, everyone. Sergi from New York City Comptroller's Office. I just wanted to let you know that yesterday our office launched a new initiative regarding the language access in New York City. So per local laws, all New York City agencies are required to provide every member of the public somebody speaking. Okay. The information in at least 10 different languages. The main languages, they were determined as a result of the last when we had in 2020. Sometimes some city agencies, unfortunately, don't have that news information available in all these 10 languages. So our office would like all New Yorkers to report if they have any problems. So I'm trying to send it to everyone. Unfortunately, I have some technical issues, so I will send it to Eddie.
So you'll send it to the chat and we'll circulate it around.
Eddie. So there'll be two links. One link to the general description of that, and the second link I'll share in a minute will be how to report this issue. So not only for Russian-speaking, Polish-speaking, Chinese organizations, and so on and so forth, and for everyone. And also because we're going to meet now probably at the end of March. So happy Purim, who celebrates this holiday in March, and happy St. Patrick's Days from New York City Comptroller, Brad Lander. If you have any questions, I'll be around during this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Olga from the Senator's Office, 2 minutes.
You did? Okay. Hi, everybody. Jessica wanted me to share this information with you. She passed a few pieces of legislation last week, and they all have to do with public safety. Bill 1442 will introduce additional equipment requirements for stretch limousines to make sure that they are equipped with all the necessary tools and operational fire extinguishers in case of an emergency. So that's one bill. Bill 2223, which will ensure that a plan for the delivery of medical supplies and medications to pharmacies, hospitals, and nursing homes in affected areas during a state disaster where emergency is required. So those two were passed last week. We're doing mobile offices, and if you feel that there may be a place that we can do a mobile office, just don't hesitate to let us know. We will be glad for any suggestions, and please join us for our Black History Month event. And this will be tomorrow night at 7:30 at Cary Gardens, 2315 Surf Avenue. So I'm rushing through this. I don't want to go over my 2 minutes, everybody. So thank you.
Thank you for being considerate. Appreciated. Hassad from the Borough President's Office, 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah, good morning, good evening. It's been a long day. Good evening, everyone. So just a quick announcement again about the community board application season. Previously, I think the deadline was February 14. Now it's been extended to a week, which is tomorrow, the end of tomorrow. Please tell your neighbor, friends about this application season. We have received new applicants or applications for new applicants. I would welcome the arrival and submission of more, especially around the Gravesend area. But yeah, I will send the application link. I will share with Eddie or Lucy, and you can share with the rest of the group. Second announcement is that you might have seen the flyer or the graphic circulated around, but I never get a chance to make the official announcement. So as you may know, the New York State Gambling Facility Board, they, approved a request for application to get proposals for up to 3 casinos. And there's been a developer who made a proposal to make a casino in Coney Island. So our office in partnership with the CB13, we are arranging a community engagement session / event on March 6th in Coney Island YMCA. So this engagement session is divided into two, I would say, into 2 sessions. One will be in the morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the second one is in the evening from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the goal is pretty simple. It's just the BP has been receiving a briefing on these issues. He hasn't taken any public position or stance on this. It's just a transparent public engagement. He wants to open wants to have a platform for information sharing. So consider that a part of that process. So yeah, that would be on March 6th, Monday at Coney Island YMCA. The first session is in the morning from 10 to 1. Second is in the evening from 5:30 to 8. Hopefully that could accommodate a lot more people. So if you have any questions around that, let me know. I would be happy to shoot any email to me. But yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
All right, thank you. I just want to note that we will have translators there in Russian, Spanish, and in Chinese. So we thank you for that. Moving on.
Hello.
Chris, 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone, and I hope everyone's doing well. As to, I want to thank Committee Board 13 who did attend the new opening of the very first one. I know Eddie's still saying we're number 1. The new customer center that's at Stillwell Avenue, Coney Island, used to be in the Bank of America. That is doing really well right now. I hope to see everyone that needs to get information. They'll sign up for the reduced fee at MetroCard. Other thing, I'm glad that everyone's mentioning about the Brooklyn redesign. I'd like to thank everyone who attended yesterday. If you missed it, you still have time to attend the other ones. We still have District 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, which are all coming up, as I already sent my report to Eddie as well. Also, just to let Lucy also know, this is related to all community boards and Alec Borkosny, we do have a new elevator status link that is located on all the elevators at stations as well, which you're going to see a new sticker. You can still go check your elevator status at any time, or check it on your home before you leave the station, before you go. So this is something new that we're also adding in. That's why there was an adding report to go in. Everyone, please enjoy your evening and have a great day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Zanera from the Senator's office.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just want to give a quick brief update that Senator Chu and myself, we met with CB13 yesterday to talk about some of the quality of life issues and pressing issues happening. Our office is always available for feedback for constituent cases happening in the 17th Senate District. You can always reach out to me. We have different languages spoken in our office, about 7 or 8 at this point, from Russian, Hebrew, Urdu, Arabic, and we're still hiring. So please let me know if you ever need us. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think I missed any other elected officials' office, but if I did, please let us know. Moving on, Craig, 2 minutes.
Hi, Alex Karevich here from the Brooklyn DA's office, if I just may, for a moment.
Go ahead, Alex, first, before Craig. I apologize, Craig.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to let everybody know that I believe everyone here knows of a tragic incident that occurred in Coney Island last month. We had a 17-year-old young man stabbed to death in the Coney Island area. And I I just wanted to give an update on that from the DA's office. We have indicted 3 teenagers in regards to that incident, ages 13, 14, and 16. It was a tragic case all around. The 13-year-old, whose name we will not be releasing, was indicted and earlier today arraigned on charge of murder in the 2nd degree for the stabbing of Naheem Wright. 2 of his accomplices, 14 and 16 years old, were likewise indicted for manslaughter as well as gang assault and various other charges. Again, we are not releasing the names of any of the defendants because they are minors, but this is a case that I think affected the Coney Island community greatly. I just wanted to give it up. The 13-year-old has been remanded, no bail. The other 2 young men have been put up on high bail of $50,000 and $75,000.
Is it my connection or is anyone else losing him? I think we're losing you, Alex.
What, did you lose me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we got the end of it, but if you want to continue, go ahead.
No, I
Need
just
to
wanted,
continue, excuse me.
I just wanted to, that's the most important thing that I wanted to announce. I also wanted to tell you that we also have a Black History Month event coming up tomorrow evening that I wanted to invite everyone. I'm sorry to compete with anyone else's events happening at the same time, but ours is going to be in downtown Brooklyn in St. Francis College, and tomorrow evening at 6:30. I'll be happy to put the details in the chat.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Craig, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Lucy. First, apologies because I actually targeted 3 minutes, but I'm going to work
I'll give you the 3 because you weren't prepared. So
Thank you.
go ahead.
Appreciate that. But I'm going to cut out most of the background anyway, because most of you have it. I'm actually here tonight to talk about the boardwalk, not the street co-naming. And I have 2 requests for the community board that have come out of conversations within our Riegelman Boardwalk Working Group largely. First, I'd like to ask the community board to consider taking a position on the Army Corps' HATS study, the harbor and tributary study, to tell the feds that we need them to develop a supplemental EIS to take a deeper look into some of the proposed remedies for our area, specifically, 1, to study other alternatives to an elevated promenade that they've proposed for the boardwalk, like a flood wall covered in sand dunes, an idea I know has support within this community. 2, to study how they will be addressing the documented contamination in the Coney Island Creek, which is still under active consideration for a Superfund cleanup, since they're proposing to build a tidal gate, flood wall, and seawall there. And 3, to demonstrate to us how 40% of their proposed remedies will specifically and directly benefit our environmental justice community, which has suffered from decades of government neglect, as the White House's Justice 40 initiative requires this federal agency to do. And the second request would be targeted to the Parks Department, also about the boardwalk. I'd like to ask the community board to first rescind its previous support given to the Parks Department for their proposed capital projects on the boardwalk, simply because they will likely have to be changed anyway, depending on what the federal government decides to do. And instead urge the Parks Commissioner to, 1, use all of those funds already allocated for the boardwalk to issue an emergency repair contract to perform comprehensive in-kind repair of the boardwalk instead. In-kind means if it was wooden, it should be wooden, repaired as wood. If it was concrete, it should be repaired as concrete. If it was plastic, it should be repaired as concrete. Make no changes, just repair it, because we deserve a safe and inviting boardwalk. 2, that the commissioner should issue an agency-wide order to stop their agency vehicles from driving on the boardwalk. And 3, that the commissioner should increase the department's maintenance budget for the boardwalk, as 2 part-time carpenters have proven to be insufficient to maintain the 1.3 million planks and 15.6 million screws and nails that hold them in place. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Craig. Moving on, Ida Sanoff.
Good.
I just this second got off a Zoom meeting with 150 people representing various groups throughout the New York metro area. We were also talking about the Army Corps of Engineers flood control project. It's confirmed what we have long suspected, that their plans for Coney Island Creek, especially their floodgate, will make the situation far worse for us here. It will exacerbate pollution. It will end up creating a bathtub if they ever close it during a stormwater event. And by the way, I just happened, as I'm writing my multiple pages of comments on this project, which are due on March 7th, I went back to the 92 plan, where when they raised the sand on the beach side up 13 feet, and that was supposed to protect us for 400 years if there were no waves and 200 years if there were waves. Well, it only lasted 20 years because, as many people know, we stood here, Brighton was dry until the water came over the boardwalk, and we were here and we watched it come over the boardwalk. So these Army Corps of Engineers plans are seriously flawed. They will exacerbate harm to the community. They do not address the flooding that occurs when we get into heavy rain. They do not address the floods that come up through the storm drains in the community. And as Craig said, you know, I urge everybody to take a look at these plans. You don't have to read the whole thing, just read the parts relevant to Coney Island. And like many organizations around here, I will be submitting formal comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next one is Alex Topaler. Sorry, I mispronounced it. Are you with us? Anyone want to help me and see if he's here?
Alex, if you're on the phone, you have to hit *6 to unmute. So Alex, if you're on one of the phones, because we don't.
I'll call him back at 8.
Okay,
let's
thank you.
move on. Paul? Paul? I know I'm gonna chop this name. Rasia? I saw her here.
Raisa.
Raisa, gracias.
She couldn't pronounce my name?
No.
No, yes.
I just love you.
Love and pronounced name, it's two different things. Anyway, guys.
2 minutes, my dear.
Huh?
2 minutes.
No problem. I'd like to talk about renaming street. I'm completely against this. I have two issues. First one, in rule set, each person must live, working in this community for 10 years at least. Alex didn't live here, with all my respect. He wasn't working in this community. I'm talking about especially in the Brighton Beach. And most important is when people talking about Russian-speaking community. I'm also Russian-speaking community member, and I know people who against this. He's not represent what I'd like to think. We don't have any. We have in New York person like Nobel Prize Brodsky, Joseph Brodsky. We don't have any name of his name in renaming street. We don't have any Yul Brynner. We don't have any so many biggest name in the world. What's wrong with that? Why we should rename because of Alex Topaler, with all my respect to his memory.
Thank you very much. Now moving on, is Alex Topaler here?
Pardon me?
No. I'm calling the next speaker. Thank you. No, is Paul here? Okay, I'm ending the public session with two more people. Ms. Batts, I understand that you're here to speak, but I'm only going to give you 1 minute because, as you know, I need people to sign up and I have 17 speakers. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Charlene Batts. I'm here for Councilman Justin Brennan, and I just wanted to say that we're here. Our office hours are 9 to 5. We're located at 8203 3rd Avenue. The phone number is 718-748-5200. And I just wanted to say that on February 16th, it passed. This bill would amend the definition of the term victim of domestic violence under the New York City human rights law to recognize economic abuse as a form of domestic violence. This extends existing protections for domestic violence victims to those who have experienced economic abuse. Protections such as access to specialized homeless shelters, eligibility for specialized housing, vouchers, and priority consideration for general housing vouchers. Eligibility to apply for micro grants program, and etc. Thank you so much, Lucy, for allowing me this time, and I wish everyone a good evening.
And when you're next month, please sign up. My last speaker is Ozzy. Ozzy, you're with us. I saw you somewhere on the screen.
Yeah, hi.
Because there was a miscommunication with Ozzy and a little bit of disruptive, I'm going to allow him 3 to 3.5 minutes because his other speakers that were on the list signed up too late, and I'm doing this as a courtesy. So go ahead and hopefully.
Okay, I appreciate it, Lucy. And also, I thought that I would have a 10-minute limit, so I will obviously trim it down.
Excuse me?
I had thought from prior discussions with the staff that I would have 10 minutes to talk about. But anyway,
No, sir, we never give anyone 10 minutes, not even my elected officials, and they get 10 minutes. So you will have 3.5 minutes, and you will be muted.
I don't want to waste my thank you. And say good evening to everyone, and I appreciate the opportunity. For those of you who don't know who Mr. Topella was, he was a longtime talk show host on Davidson Radio and on Russian Television Network of America. He produced several popular plays that were in the Brighton Beach Millennium. Now it's the Master Theater. He published many informative editorials and analytical articles in Russian language newspapers covering American and New York politics. Just as Brighton Beach is basically an icon for the heart of the Russian-speaking community in the United States, Victor Topella was himself an icon to that community. However, and I'm talking fast just to get in the time limit, he was more than just an icon, he was a leader. Members of the community respected him, learned from him, enjoyed him on radio and television and the personal appearances, quite a few in Brighton Beach, and many even loved him. Victor Topella is truly a man whose life and legacy is deserving of public recognition. He might not have lived in the community, meaning Community Board 13 in particular, but his work for well over a decade was positively affecting the lives of the tens of thousands of your board residents who are Russian speakers. We're a nation, and more specifically, a community of immigrants. Victor Topella was instrumental in helping members of the Russian-speaking community acclimate into their new lives in America. He was not only a significant part in easing their transition into becoming functioning individuals of American society, but his life serves as a role model for younger generation to learn from him. Mr. Topella didn't just believe in giving back to the country that took him in, but he practiced it just about every day of his life. And the importance of his work in the community and in the greater community was that when Davidson Radio created an online petition and asked people to call and leave audio messages, we got over 10,000 people, which was then cleaned up to get rid of duplicates and also families that made multiple calls. And it came down to over 6,000 individual calls. And in addition to this position, I know there was some discussion at the committee meeting about a pen and paper petition. And I found out just today that there is one. It has 800 signatures and will be delivered to the board within the next 5 days. Gregory, who's president of Davidson Radio and RTN, said that I could share this with you because he was initially concerned when he started the radio audio petition. However, his gut feelings about the importance of Mr. Topela.
Okay, sir, your 3.5 minutes is up. We're going to continue with the rest of the agenda. You had a full meeting last week. So if you're thinking that I didn't give you enough time, we had a full meeting on this topic. You gave all that information there. So I had to cut you off. It is now 7:46. I had 17 speakers. I limited it to the best of my ability because we need to move forward with the rest of the agenda. I remind each and every one of you, as I try to remind you each month, sign up. That gives me an idea of if I can give you 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, that gives me an idea. That's the reason that we try to get the list together ahead of time. Okay, so I thank you for that, and I thank you for understanding that. Adoption of the minutes of January 2023. May I get a motion to approve?
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes, Michael.
There was a correction to the minutes.
Wouldn't we do that after the motion to approve, or we can do it now?
No, you got to do the
you tell me.
motion that's corrected and then explain what the correction was if necessary.
Go ahead, Michael.
I was marked I was marked absent from the street naming committee, the license committee. So I reminded Barbara that I was in fact there attending the meeting.
Okay, but is that relevant to the board meeting of last month? That's what we're voting on.
Yeah, I was marked absent at a meeting that I attended.
Oh, to the full board meeting? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's my bad then. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. All right, I beat Michael for once. Motion to approve the January 2023 minutes. Okay, so we have Joanne and Zanera. Okay, moving on. Roll call. Which young lady will be doing the roll call?
I will, Madam Chair.
Okay, Hannah, go ahead.
Lucy Mujica Diaz,
Yes.
Zunera Ahmed,
Yes.
Lakeisha Bowers,
Yes.
Dion Brown,
Yes.
thank you. Patricia Brown,
Yes. May I remind I'm going to interrupt you. I need everyone to place their camera on. If you just look and come back, I still need your camera on. Just slide in, slide out. So we're going to let these two pass, but please, Hannah, keep your eye out.
yes, I see Ms. Brown. Thank you, Ms. Brown. Maria Caggiano, Marion Cleaver,
Wait a second.
I see you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Couldn't.
Lolita Divalova,
Yes.
thank you. Susan Flashenberg,
Yes.
Olga Ford,
Yes.
Selena Grant, Ronald Greenberg,
Yes.
Abram Hanif,
Yes.
Amaryllis Herrera, Amaryllis, Queenie Hewling.
Hello. I'm here.
Yes, thank you, Amaryllis. Queenie Hewling. Cynthia Lavelle,
Yes.
Thank you. Yelena Mackin?
Yes.
Alan Newman?
Hello, Hannah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Pat O'Brien?
Yes.
Thank you. Robin Wright Parison?
Yes.
Thank you. Nordra Pirmukhamadova?
Yes.
Thank you. Milagros Quiles?
Yes.
Thank you. Michael Russo?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jeff Stanoff?
Yes.
Thank you. Tatiana Siegel?
Over here, good evening. And my father is here. He wants to support Victor Topaler's street renaming.
Apparently you didn't hear me. I said public session was closed.
Okay, sorry.
Professor Dickey? Michael Silverman?
Yes, Michael?
Thank you. Pat Singer?
Yes.
Evelyn Strasser? Jack Subin?
Yes.
Thank you. Robert Teitelbaum?
Yes.
Thank you. Fania Vasilevsky?
Yes.
Thank you. See you. Yes, thank you. Gregory Vengert?
Yes.
Thank you. Edita Volovodovskaya? Dennis Verderis?
Yes.
Thank you. Gloria Watkins? Gloria, I saw you earlier. Okay, I'll come back to Gloria. Joanne
I
Weiss?
was trying to unmute. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Gloria. Sorry, Joanne Weiss?
Yes.
Thank you, Joanne. Annette Wesley? Kumali Zairi?
Yes.
Thank you. Svetlana Zelenskaya? Svetlana?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, wait, Queenie didn't say anything.
Yes.
Queenie said yes.
Yeah,
She
no,
could
I
not
don't.
voted if she don't have a camera.
She doesn't have a camera.
Queenie, you have your camera on?
Yes, she has a camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to turn your camera on.
Can you hear me? We can, but we need your camera on to vote.
Okay.
Oh,
there you go. She
There you
said
go.
yes. Move on.
Thank you, Queenie.
Thanks, Queenie.
You're welcome.
Mario
Okay, Hannah.
Caggiano? I'm sorry, I was just gonna go back one more time, Madam Chair. May I?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
go ahead.
Mario Caggiano? He's not here. Selena Grant? Okay. Michael Quinn is not here. And David Wynn is not here. Okay, that's it, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. Interrupt this or raise your hand or place it in the chat what the roll call was. So moving on, Chairperson's report. I'll try to be as short as possible. First, I want to say I want to thank everyone for being very respectful. And I want to thank Elena for translating for me. And I see that we had not even, I believe, one interruption. So I thank you all for that. With that being said, that wasn't the atmosphere in the office this week. They must have received over 500 calls over the weekend, over Sunday. Then they went on Facebook And then they went through emails, and I get it. Everyone wants to get things out, and I understand it. And I told the staff I give them credit because they wanted to say what they had to say regarding the co-naming for Victor. But it became a harassment. It got to the point that they had to send all the messages directly to voice message. And why they retrieved them and they wrote down the people's names, and we have it all documented that majority of the people that called were in favor. And we understand that and we appreciate that. But that's not the manner how we work things. Because now I look around and here's exactly my point. We asked for a petition. I'm hearing the petition is not gonna come until 5 days. The petition should have been submitted in August. When did we start this, Eddie? Remind me, it was August, right?
No,
Or
it was
September?
October.
October.
Yeah.
So now we're not gonna see this petition to another 5 days that existed the next day, according to one of the board members. And now it doesn't exist at all till another 5 days. So let's start with that. I also do not see, I have 71 people on here and we have close to 50 board members. So I cannot even imagine that all those phone calls came from the residents of this community. So when I say it's harassment, it was about people calling in that were told at this radio station or the radio station that has announced this, and that this gentleman was a announcer there, told everyone to call the community board office. I don't appreciate it. I don't think that was very respectful towards us. We have a protocol. We gave you the time for the meeting. We've given you this time, and I will not tolerate this for the staff. So moving on with that, now I want to say that I was disappointed on the turnout for the bus network redesigning yesterday. I will believe that we had about a handful of 6 members there. I need to remind, there was 67 people at that bus network redesign. 14 of them was the MTA. I would like to remind each and every one of you that we have been appointed to speak on behalf of the public. So if I have 50 members here, I would have expected at least 40 people to show up to that MTA meeting. This is a very, very important issue that affects each and every one of us. We cannot continue to have the same 6 people speaking up for us, because then those same 6 people are getting badgered and harassed. I had one board member that called me today to tell me that they threatened her. They said to her, if you speak in favor of the co-naming, and this young lady's Russian, we are now gonna go on that same radio station and badge you. And what she said, because she's a very strong woman, thank you, you're making me famous. I appreciate it. And we all probably know who it is. So we're not gonna go there. We are here for the community. We are here, we have been appointed to speak on behalf of the community. So when we have these meetings, especially now they're on Zoom, please make every effort. I know we all have personal lives, we have business to do, but 6 members at an MTA meeting, that so many bus locations are being changed, to me, was unacceptable. The deadline to submit, correct me if I'm wrong, Eddie, written testimony is March 7th. If you need to submit it, please feel free to contact the office and they will give you the link to submit written testimony on the MTA. We really need everyone to speak about this. One of the issues is they're moving locations from 1 stop block distance to 5 block distance. That is a big issue for us, especially for our seniors in this community. That is a big issue for our students that are going to school. We need to think and let people know that we are here for the community, not just the same 6 people. As our Assembly member Alec already announced, we met with him, we met with the senator, we met with all the new elected officials. We gave them our concerns from what we heard from the community and from what we heard from the members. If there's anything that you want to address to them directly, we can connect you with them if you don't have their contact information, or we could set up anything, any meeting with them for you if that's something that you need. I've already spoke about the numerous complaints that people calling. So the people that were calling, this is exactly what I have to say, and I said it at the committee meeting. They are not the residents, this is community. This is our community. And at the meeting, majority.
Then you don't have to do it on Monday, you can do it on Wednesday.
I got it.
It's okay. This is our community. And at the meeting, it wasn't about this person not being honored. It's about that the person should be honored in a different manner. But I'll let the chair of that committee bring it up, and then I guess I'll speak when my turn is there to speak on that. I'm going to jump a little bit out of the order just because I want to get it out of the way. I have something on old business, which is the removal of a board member, which is Mr. Isaac. Mr. Isaac has not shown up to a community board meeting. He only showed up to one meeting in May of 2022. Excuse me, he was appointed in May of 2022 and only showed up to one meeting. I looked at the bylaws, and with the staff, the bylaws indicate that all I have to do is send him a letter, send him an email. I contacted this individual with text. I spoke to him on the phone. He promised me that he would start attending meetings, and he never showed up, and then he ignored me. With that being said, I sent the letter to the borough president's office. As I said, we followed everything in the bylaws and requested for his removal. I will have some time within March or April and look at people's attendance. You have to be here. You have to come. It's Zoom meetings. Eventually we'll be back in person. But in the meantime, attendance should not be a factor. So this individual will no longer be a board member. Hassad already said that on renewals, please submit them. I believe today was the deadline. I don't know what time it was closing business or midnight, but it was a deadline. I wasn't going to mention it, but since Hassad did mention it, we do have 6 members that will not be with us next year. And that was on their choice, that they did not decide to reapply. I'll announce them next month. And with that, I end my report. Thank you.
Okay,
District manager's report.
sure. All right, as you can see, it's a short month this month. We have some, I guess, good news, bad news. The open meeting law has been extended to March 30th. So next month, we will have this in Zoom again, which will be on March 22nd. And so no one has to feel that they have to go out in the public until it's lifted. All right, so as you know, we have responses from the district needs that we put in back in October. I'm gonna put it in the chat. You can see there's a link to our website, and from there you can see what the response was from the city agency. Basically, they said no, they don't have the money. Talk to your elected official, and et cetera, et cetera. Some of the things that we requested was fixing the boardwalk, getting a C1 trauma center at Brooklyn South Brooklyn Health, and getting some cameras on the boardwalk, and all those were rejected. But that doesn't mean that we don't need them, so we'll still pursue these items until they say yes. Let's see. We also have a couple of announcements that we have for next week. We're going to have on March 1st, we're going to have a parks meeting that is going to have the parks and someone hopefully from the Army Corps of Engineer. As you know, there's $52 billion that they're trying to build to fortify the New York City. And right now, as they mentioned, they're going to try to raise the boardwalk. The boardwalk, of course, we know that they have 114 million to fix it. We do not want the city to fix it and then find out that the federal government is going to tear it up later on. So we want them to know that we want both of them to be both transparent to us, to say they know that this is happening and what are their plans. So March 1st is going to be next week. It's going to happen by Zoom. So that's one thing. Other meetings, community precinct council meeting is going to be on the 28th because it was supposed to be yesterday, but since we had the MTA redesign meeting yesterday, they moved their meeting to next week, which will be in person at St. Paul's at 7 p.m. As you know, there's ice skating this week. There's from Tuesday to Friday at Abe Stark from 10 to 12. There's free ice skating for kids who are off during this winter break. As you know, it is Black History Month. Tomorrow, I'm not even going to repeat them, but there are so many things happening tomorrow. Hopefully you will be able to make them. There's also a build a block for Water Tower Apartments over in Cropsey Avenue at 6 p.m. They're having their meeting too at the same time. Yeah. Also, we have a town hall meeting both by Councilwoman Vertical and also Councilman Ari Kagan on March the 1st. They're having it on the same day. So you choose your side, whichever you want to be. They're going to have it then. And that's my report.
Thank you, Eddie. Tatiana, you have something to address us with?
I just want to clarify concerning people calling CB13 with regards to Victor Tapaler's street co-naming. My father personally called, he has lived at Brighton Beach area and Brighton 14th Street since 1999. And he called CB13 and he got voicemail.
Correct.
He left a voice message on behalf of himself and my mom.
Possible.
Thank you. We appreciate that. I'm not going to give him his 3 minutes. I know where you're going with this. Public session is closed. I announced that we did get the phone calls and they have everything. They have everyone's name listed. So we thank you.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify, Lucy, that people tried to call, but they were not
You don't need to
successful.
clarify it. I was pretty clear on what I said. People called. It went to the answer machine. We got around 500 calls. I was not allowing the staff to sit there to speak to 500 people. They took the names down. They retrieved everything from the messages. I was clear.
Okay. And also you have to, I mean, you need to remember that these people are elderly because the program was targeting the elderly population. So it's very hard for them to follow all the proper rules and channels. And they did the best they could. And so this has to be considered as well.
Okay, thank you. I neglected to say, which I'm very surprised I didn't say it, because I've been screaming it all over Facebook. Let's remind each other that we have the casino meeting on March 6th.
Yeah.
Whether you're for it or you're against it, please show up. Please listen to what they have to tell us. They are listening to us. This is the first step of many. And as I said, well, prior to that, I said that, you know, I'm hoping members show up when there's Zoom meetings. This is an in-person meeting or a dialogue, but if you could give us 5 or 10 minutes of your time, we would really appreciate that you show up. As I said, if you're for it or against it, everyone knows that I'm against it for many reasons, and I'm not going to go there because this is not the forum for it. But please try to show up for 5 minutes and give us your input. Thank you. Fania, I'm not
Lucy?
going there. We're going to move on with the agenda. I'm not
Excuse
going
me,
there.
Lucy, the March
Yes.
6th meeting, is it going to be via Zoom?
No, it's in person.
It's in person.
Where?
At Coney Island YMCA.
Eddie, at the YMCA, we'll circulate
And
the
the
flyer again.
times?
I'm going to put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat again, and then we'll be circulating it again through the members. Okay, Mariam?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Eddie, I'm assuming Shimon's not here because you
Yeah.
spoke for him.
He
You
couldn't make
spoke-
it. There's just
Okay,
only one
thank you.
thing that came out.
Shimon doesn't feel well.
Yes.
Okay. And the treasurer's report is going to be delayed because we're still trying to reach the not the borough president, excuse me, OMB, and there seems to be a discrepancy with the funding that Eddie has on his records and what they have. Okay. Again, I remind board members that all our meetings are on YouTube. The link is on the board agenda, so you could always look at every meeting that we have within the month. Let's move on. Fania, yes, Fania.
Just 1 second.
Good evening. I'm listening, I'm sitting and listening. I'm sorry, Lucy, with all respect, this is such, the whole meeting, the last time I voted for, to adopt last meeting minutes, but it is such a disrespect and such an insult to Russian-speaking community. I don't know this woman who called herself Raisa. I don't know her. You gave her some time. You did not give other people time. You said
Because
that
they did not sign up. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. You have to sign up. It was on the agenda. When people called, we told them they had to sign up. We did pick up phone calls, and what they said was, I just want to give my input, and we wrote it down. And if you want to speak as a board member, when the topic comes up, you're more than welcome to speak. I'm going to move on with the agenda. Street closing committee, Yelena.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. We had very successful street closing committee with quorum present. Again, I would like to thank committee members for being there. We have five applications. They were approved for committee. There are 5 events. Since we have 5 events, I believe we can do the same, use the same procedure, vote for all of them. But I know for sure it's going to be some recusal because board members and committee members, they're applicants. So what we have 46th annual Brighton Beach Jubilee done by Brighton Neighborhood Association on Sunday, August 27, 2023. It was approved with 4 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention, 1 recusal. We have Coney Island YMCA Healthy Kids Fair on Saturday, April 29, 2023. It was approved, 5 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention, 0 recusal. We have Bay 33rd Street Block Party, Saturday, August 19, 2023. It was approved, 5 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention, 0 recusal. We also have event Church Annual Festival, Saturday, August 26, it should be corrected, Mermaid Avenue between 21st and 23rd Street. It was approved, 4 in favor, 1 opposed, 4 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention, 1 recusal. And last but not least, Brighton Beach Family Day, Sunday, May 21st, 2023, Coney Island Avenue between Brighton Beach Avenue and Brightwater Court. It was approved, 4 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention, 1 recusal. Motion carried, and all roll calls can be found in CB office on file. So I believe we can use the same procedure. If you wanna vote differently for one of them, you should say it, I believe. If not, you should say yes for 5 or no for 5. Thank you. Anybody wants to make a motion?
I will. You don't need to make a motion. It was a motion.
Okay.
Committee.
I wanted to hear John's voice. Okay, that's it.
Any discussion on any of the applications that Yelena has mentioned? Any discussion on any of the application that Yelena has mentioned? Okay, so I'm gonna have them call me first, because this is the way, as Yelena said, if you want to do all 5, you say I'm in favor for all 5. If you are voting differently for an item, please say which item you're voting differently and how you're voting for that item when your name is called. Thank you. So who will be doing this roll call?
I will.
Okay, please don't get it complicated. It's not that hard. Okay. So please call me first, and then I'll use me as an example.
Lucy Mojica Diaz.
Okay, so I am in favor of all 4 with the exception of, I can't get it in front of me right now.
Okay, if
The church annual festival, I have to recuse myself from that one. So see how simple that was? Moving on.
Sunair Ahmed,
Yes to all five.
Lakeisha Bowers,
Yes to all five.
Deanne Brown,
Yes to all five.
Patricia Brown,
To all five.
Marion Cleaver,
I'm sorry, she said to all five, but I didn't know what she said. Was it yes? Was it no? Was it
Yes.
Mary? Thank you.
I heard a yes. Marion Cleaver,
Yes to all five.
Lolita Divilova,
Yes to all five.
Susan Flashenberg,
Yes to all five.
Olga Fort,
Yes to all five.
Ronald Greenberg,
Yes on all.
Irum Hanif,
Yes to all five.
Marilis Herrera, Queenie Hewling,
Yes to all five.
Cynthia LaVille,
Yes to all five.
Yelena Machman,
yes to 4 recused for Brighton Beach Family Day.
Alan Newman,
Yes to all five.
Pat O'Brien,
Yes to all five.
Robin Wright Parison,
Yes to all five.
Nodra P,
Yes to all five.
Milagros Quillis,
Yes to 4 and no to the church, which is mine.
So it's a recusal or a no?
Recusal.
It's a refusal for mine, for the church.
Yes, it's recusal.
Okay. Michael Russo,
Yes to all five.
Jeff Sanoff,
Yes to all five.
Tatiana Siegel,
Yes to all five.
Michael Silverman,
Yes to all 5.
Pat Singer,
Both for my fabulous jubilee, but I support the other 4. Thank you.
Jack Subin, sorry,
Yes to all 5.
Barbara Teitelbaum,
Yes to all 5.
Fania Vasilevsky,
Yes to all 5.
Gregory Vanger,
Sorry, I got frozen. Yes to all 5.
Dennis Rodriguez,
Yes to all 5.
Gloria Watkins,
Yes to all 5.
Joanne Weiss,
Yes to all 5.
Kumali Zari,
5. Yes to all 5.
Svetlana Zelinska,
Yes to all 5.
Let's see, is Amarilla still there?
Yes to all 5.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Anybody else that I missed to call?
Oh, that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, tally that up when you get a chance. Please place the votes in the chat so everyone can see it. I'm gonna move the agenda a little bit like I try to do every month. We have one more committee that's gonna have a vote. It's gonna be a little 15, 20 minutes probably on that issue, but hopefully not. Excuse me? I've already done old business, removal of the board member. Any new business? Any good and welfare? Okay, so now we'll go back to the land use committee and that will be the final roll call for the evening as well. Marianne, go ahead.
Last week, the land use committee met and it was concerning the co-naming of a particular street for Victor Topal. There, am I pronouncing it right? Nobody cares. All right.
Very good, very good. Tapala.
Thank you. Right. I guess my first question is, why isn't Boris Pinkoff here? Does anybody know? Did he contact the office?
I think he's a neighbor of mine and I haven't seen him in the building for a while. So I usually see him every day.
Yeah, Marion, it's Ozzy. My understanding is he's in Israel and there's a family emergency and that's why he went. He also missed last week's meeting because of that.
Right. Did he have the courtesy to contact the board and tell them he would not be here?
That I can't comment on since I don't.
I know you can't. I'm asking the staff of the community.
I'm sorry.
board. Sorry. Eddie's shaking his
Nope,
head
they
no.
haven't.
All right.
I'm aware
I'm
of it.
just going to sum up. It was a very heated discussion. All right. There were pros and cons. The strongest objections were making it in front of Brighton Beach Avenue and
Brighton First Road.
Brighton First Road,
Yes.
right? Which is a very small street, which is where the Brighton Library is.
Mhm.
And I found out or was told that he had given several lectures in that library. I remember somebody saying that. It wasn't part of the minutes though. And other suggestions were made. He was a big radio broadcaster. He did a lot of radio for about 20 years or so. He reached the Russian community. He was part of the community via the airways. All right. He did not live in this community. He truly didn't work in this community. The radio station is on Coney Island Avenue and Avenue V, which is not really part of Community Board 13. All right, so this could be a matter brought to the neighboring community board. All right, the vote on this, a motion was made to, I'm sorry, the motion was made to co-name a street for Victor Topala on Brighton First Road and Brighton Beach Avenue. The vote was 3 in favor, 3 opposed, and 4 abstentions. The motion is denied because there wasn't a positive vote. And we said we had a quorum present at the land use committee. And we said, what we have to do is bring it in front of the board. All right, can we mute the people that are not talking? I noticed a lot of hands up. I also noticed our councilman and, excuse me.
Yes, I'm trying to get everyone to be muted. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. It wasn't directed to you. I noticed our councilman. And I would imagine that Councilman Kagan would like to say a couple of words. We are limiting the speaking time, just so you should be aware, because it's already 8:25 at night.
Well, thank you for that, Marianne, but I'm gonna let you finish with the rest of your report.
That is basically my report. I don't think,
Okay, just to clarify, it wasn't denied, it failed.
It failed.
We both understand what you meant, but I want to make sure for the record, in case someone comes back and says that. So it failed. There will be discussion of this, as Marianne said, on the motion after our councilman speaks. He did text me earlier and say that he was coming around 8 o'clock. He had another meeting. So Councilman, I will give you 5 minutes as we're here to discuss our last topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to say that I'm sorry for being late. I was at another meeting, couldn't come earlier. First of all, we're having 4 days of free ice skating for kids. Yesterday, today, and for 2 more days at Abe Stark Ice Rink. So if anybody still wants to come, it's still an opportunity to come tomorrow from 9 to 11, and on Friday from 9 to 11 to Abe Stark Ice Rink. It's a free for kids. It's up to 200 kids, so you can use this opportunity. Also, I would like to mention that on March 1st, my office is doing town hall at Beach Haven and Gravesend, and I know Beach Haven is a part of CB13, so everyone is welcome. It's going to be at the public school 216 on Avenue X in the evening after 6 p.m. So we will publish more information. We invited many agencies, so everyone is welcome. And now I would like to also mention about school co-naming, though it's not in my district, but it's very close to my heart. First of all, I personally worked for many years with Victor Topaler, because I'm a journalist by trade myself. I'm a TV and radio journalist. So of course I worked with him for many, many years. I also wrote about him many times, about his speech at synagogue in Brighton Beach, about his speech at Babi Yar commemoration at Shorefront Y, about many other, about his work as a producer at Millennium Theater. He produced several interesting plays. So I'm a big supporter of this street co-naming, and I urge each one of you to support this. I believe it's a very good idea, and all the thousands of people support this idea as well. So I'm a big proponent, and of course it's personal for me. I've known Victor Topaler for many years, and I believe it will be a fantastic idea if his name will be memorialized in Southern Brooklyn for many years to come. He clearly deserved it. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay, thank you. I'm hearing some background, but everyone's muted, so I don't know what's happening here. Maybe it was the councilman. Background. Okay, so I thank you very much. So Marian, I'm going to call the people and we're going to give them possibly 1 minute. So Fania, go ahead, 1 minute.
Hold on for a second. Something is, I lost you.
We hear you.
Oh, okay. I have only 1 minute, so I want to say that you all know my stand on this issue. The only thing I want to say that some suggestion to move this street name to other street, or to have a memorial plaque on a building, or to have a display in the library, it is really diminishing this man's statue in Russian-speaking community. And I really urge you to listen. I know maybe we did not go through protocol as our president or chairman Lucy said, but and maybe I'm sorry for this because we did not know how to go about this, but I really urge you to listen to more than 6,000 Russian-speaking residents in our community, and our board represents our community, and make a vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Tatiana?
Good evening. So people contribute to communities in so many different ways. Some people provide delicious food in our community, like Sophia from the National Restaurant, while others provide interesting and educational programs. And we have to consider this and admire people who do other things, different things. So my whole family supports the street co-naming, to co-name the street for Victor Topaler. From 2008 to 2017, Mr. Topaler ran his own TV program called American Literacy Campaign, which discussed cultural, economic, political, scientific life in the United States and its history. And people loved the program, and they would tuned in, and they waited for this program. It was once a week. There was also another program which was enormously popular. It was called In New York with Victor Topaler, where over 700 musicians, writers, actors, and other celebrities came and they spoke to Mr. Topaler. So he was enormously popular and well recognized in the community. And people admired his work and they waited for his shows. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tatiana. Yelena?
Good evening. If we are talking about committee members, land use committee members, I was only one who knew who Victor Topaler is. And I would just repeat what I said. Yes, he was a talented journalist. Yes, he was talented, he was well known. But we have a tradition in this community for ceremonial street co-naming. This is for people who live in this community, people who work for this community by providing volunteer services. So again, not being rude, not being disrespectful, but if somebody said moving from this corner, it was diminishing, I am on Brighton more often than anybody else for 20 years. I have never seen worse corner. Again, we have rules, we have tradition. So I would rephrase the ferry group, yes, for commemorating the memory, no for street co-naming. Thank you.
Thank you, Yelena. Is there any other speakers before I have Jeff and myself being the last ones? Please raise your hands now, because once that's done, Mary Ann's gonna jump in and we're gonna do the roll call. Okay, no other speakers, so I'm gonna speak for 2 seconds and then it's Jeff. So as I stated in the committee meeting, facts are facts. Most of these people that called were from the radio station. I indicated in the meeting, this man should be honored. But at this, being honored at this location and a co-naming is not acceptable in my eyes. He should be honored by the radio station that he worked at. He worked for many, many years there. I suggested they should place a plaque there. They said that he worked in the library. When Eddie called the library, they never heard of this man. Am I correct, Eddie? So if he worked at the library, put a plaque there. But they haven't heard of him, so I doubt if they'll put a plaque there. So this is exactly why I feel that it should be rejected as co-naming the street, but of course, honor him in a different way. Yes, it's not about the Russian community, it's not about the Hispanic community, it is not about, or any other nationality in the community. We do respect each and every person. But what I am saying, I'm not gonna say we, but I would also still say we, because that's what the committee was saying, is the individuals should be honored in a different way, not as a co-naming, because co-namings are a little bit different. You want to co-name a street after someone that has lived in that district, someone that has done for that exact location. And it becomes a little bit of a round circle with that. And that's one of the reasons that we feel that that's what co-naming is. And that's also at the next land use committee, we will be addressing guidelines on co-namings. This was brought to, I brought it to the committee and we'll be for the discussion at the next meeting, and we'll be creating guidelines that will be fit better. So no one says that we're being racist, because we're not being racist. Jeff, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I'm speaking as an individual, not as the board, not on behalf of the board. As community board members, we represent the entire multi-ethnic, multicultural community within the boundaries of this district. We co-name streets for people because they have been involved with serving community and working with the community. We have approved dozens of applications for street co-namings for people who have worked in the community, who had businesses in the community, who volunteered in the community. We voted to honor the memory of police officers and firefighters who have saved lives in our community. Our street signs represent the diversity of this community. They honor people of many religions and ethnicities, people who were born in the USA and people who immigrated here from all over the world. We respect the street co-naming for Victor Topola. There is no doubt that he was a very talented journalist who was well known in the Russian language media, but his district involvement in the community and specifically to the corner of Brighton Beach Avenue and Brighton First Road is just not there. While many of our areas enjoyed Mr. Topola's work, it should be noted that he did not live in this community and was not even a resident of New York City. In her recent letter to the community board, council member Ina Vernikov wrote that she could not find any record of his community involvement. We were told that this corner was chosen because Mr. Topola gave a few speeches at the library in this block. Well, over the years, other well-known people have given speeches and presentations at that library, as well as other libraries throughout New York City. In fact, the Brooklyn Public Library has borough-wide programs to bring well-known authors and artists, as well as musical performances and art exhibitions to all their branches. Many highly accomplished people have given library talks. Well, this is a wonderful thing to do and is appreciated. It certainly does not justify a street co-naming. In addition, it should be noted that the radio and TV station where Mr. Topola worked is not memorializing him in any way, but has only embarked on a campaign to urge its listeners, many of whom who live out of state, to ask for this street co-naming. There are other well-known journalists in Russian language media, just as there are talented journalists who are known for their work in the other foreign languages that are spoken by many in our community. But just because people in the area are familiar with somebody's work is not justification to name a street for them. Thank you.
I was just ready to tell you to wrap it up because I gave everyone else short time. So,
I appreciate that, Madam Chair.
okay.
Madam Chair, is there anybody else who wants to speak?
I don't see any other hands, ma'am.
Neither do I, so.
So we have to take a motion
Question.
since it failed at the committee.
Pat?
No, we have to make a motion to vote for this because it failed at the committee.
Right, and Pat is raising her hand.
I don't see her. Oh, yeah, Pat.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So
I
Pat,
should have said Pat S, sorry.
I'm assuming that's a motion to approve. We have to make a positive motion.
Yeah.
Then you can turn it down if you choose not to vote in favor.
Pat, you're muted.
I see her. She's saying she's voting in favor to approve. Or she's making a motion.
You're making a
Making
motion.
that motion,
Thank you.
how you want it worded, okay?
Thank you. I'll second it. So those who would like to vote in favor for the co-naming, you say yay. If you don't want to vote in favor, you oppose. If you have to recuse, you recuse. Please do not abstain just because you want to not make a decision. Please oppose or approve. Abstentions is not for that reason. Roll call.
Are you going last, Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Zunera Ahmed.
Sorry, I just have a quick question. Is this the last roll call of the meeting?
Yes, Zanera, yes.
Wanted to make sure. No.
Backwards, but give her the call. Go ahead, it's backwards. But go ahead, Zanera, since you called your name.
Sorry,
Need
no.
to see you, need to see your face.
No.
Zunera
you.
Ahmed, no,
Go
thank you.
backwards.
Svetlana Zilitskaya. Svetlana?
You can go back, you can go back. I think she had to leave early, she told me, because her grandchild.
No, she's still here.
Okay, but let's move on.
Go.
And then we can go back again.
Kamali Zairi,
Oppose.
Joanne Weiss, Joanne,
Joanne, we can't hear you.
you're muted.
No. All right, is it okay? You heard me?
Yes, we
ma'am.
heard you.
Thank you. Gloria Watkins, unmute yourself, Gloria. There you go.
No.
Thank you. Dennis Verderis,
I will have to say no as well.
thank you. Gregory Vaingert, Gregory? Okay. Pania Vasilevsky,
Yes.
thank you. Barbara Titlebaum,
No.
Jack Subin,
No.
thank you. Pat Singer,
I'm confused. It's no for the man or is it against the man? I'm confused with that, what we're voting here.
No for naming a street within our boundaries after him. That's what the motion is.
If you want to, yes. If you don't want to, no.
He's confused still. Pat, if you want if you wanted the location to be co-named by him, you say yes. If you don't want the location to be co-named by him, say no. Like, we can't hear you here. Can't hear you. Shake your head. Is it yes or is it no?
yes,
didn't hear you.
I can't hear.
Singer.
Oh, no,
He
no.
said
okay.
no, thank you.
No,
We're done
thank
with
you.
her. Move on.
Sorry, Pat.
Michael Silverman,
Yes, Michael?
thank you. Tatiana Siegel,
Yes, I vote yes because Victor Topaler's work was for our community.
Bye.
Jeff Sanoff,
No.
Michael Russo,
Yes. Good night.
Good night.
Milagros Quiles,
No.
Nodra,
No.
thank you. Robin Wright Parison,
No.
thank you. Pat O'Brien,
Yes.
thank you. Alan Newman,
No.
thank you. Yelena Mackin,
No.
thank you. Cynthia Lavelle,
No.
thank you. Queenie Hewling,
Abstain.
okay. Amaryllis Herrera,
No.
thank you. Avram Hanif,
No.
thank you. Ronald Greenberg,
Yes, and good night to all.
thank you. Olga Fort,
Did I?
Olga Fort,
You got it.
Susan Flat. Do you see her, Eddie? I'm sorry.
Yes, she's here. Olga?
Can you hear me now? I'm sorry, I'm
Yes.
driving, so I'm abstain.
Olga Fort abstain. Okay, thank you. Susan Flashenberg,
No.
Lolita Divilova,
Yes.
Marion Cleaver,
No.
Patricia Brown,
Yes.
Dion Brown,
Yes, and good night.
Lakeisha Bowers.
No, good night.
I'm gonna go back to you. 1 minute, Madam Chair. I'm just gonna go back to Svetlana
Svetlana.
Zelenskaya.
She's here.
You vote yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Gregory Vaingert, are you there?
Yeah, I am sorry. I had to step away. Yes.
Your vote is yes? Okay. Okay, and Lucy Mujica Diaz.
No.
Wait, you gotta ask for Amaryllis.
I thought she voted.
Oh, she voted, Eddie. I saw
She
her.
did? Okay,
Voted,
good.
Eddie.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna tally this up. Thank you. One moment.
Or you guys can wait for the tally, or you could say good night.
Barbara, you can talk.
Barbara, go ahead. We're just waiting for the tally.
Okay, you mentioned about making new rules
Mhm.
for this type of thing.
Yes.
Are there any rules from the borough president?
Actually, we're
some-
gonna follow the guidelines of the city council, which are the people that vote on this.
And there are guidelines from
Co-naming.
there? Luce,
There
there are
are
already guidelines?
They're very thin guidelines, and we're grabbing it from there.
Okay, just wanted to know. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Night, Barbara.
Good
Madam
night,
Chair, I
dear.
have
Night. Love you
Go ahead,
all.
Hannah.
Okay, 11 in favor, 21 opposed, and 2 abstentions.
It's close.
Okay, so that's it. It's a wrap. Send it to the city council. Everyone have a great evening. See you at whatever committee meeting coming up. And see you at the casino meeting. If possible.
Lucy, you're gonna send something out on the casino meeting?
Yes.
We'll send it again. If you go
Yes,
on my
send it again.
Facebook page, it goes up every day, every morning like the sun.
It's up 2 and 3 times a day.
I haven't had a chance to look at Facebook. I'm sorry.
It's also on the chat.
Motion to
Good
Good
night,
night.
everybody. See you in the
Good
casino
night.
meeting. See you in the
Good night.
casino
Good night,
meeting.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.